1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome everyone. I'm Joe Dagger and I will be presenting today on Lean Service Design. No longer do we have to build and hope that there is a demand for our products. We can create demand through services that our customers are utilizing by recognizing the value that is derived through existing use. But first, let's look at the structure that we must appeal to. What does an existing corporate structure look like if you tracked employees, managers, and departments over time? This is an organic organization chart looking at the evolution of a company structure over time. A snapshot of the Autodesk organizational hierarchy was taken each day between May 2007 and June 2011, a span of just under 1,500 days. Instead of recomputing the full layout each day, they animate the transitions from one day to the next. In this version of the video, each second corresponds to approximately 1 week of activity. The structure of the organization is no different than any other process within your organization. It must be structured to facilitate the objectives it is trying to achieve. Organizational structure deserves serious consideration before contemplating process improvements, especially in the service arena. If you want to change, your structure has to change. One of the most provocative podcasts I had this past year was with Robert Fritz, where we discussed the structure. It is the embedded structure that prevents cultural change. His book on the subject is called The Path to Least Resistance. In it, he says, personality profiles are a telltale sign that people within organizations think situational rather than structurally. They think if they get the right personality type, they will succeed. They are completely unaware that whomever they engage, the underlying structure will determine the degree to which they will succeed or fail. If we change the structure of the position, the performance pattern will change. If we don't change the structure, no matter who attempts to succeed in that position, he or she will fail, including the most competent people available who have what is said to be the most ideal personality profile. When we view our own organizational structure, is it practical? Is it how we really work? Is it compatible with the way our customer operates and decides? Organizations design processes which are copies of their existing structures. It is how responsibility and work is shared and delegated. It is how we get things done. If we do not change the structure, we will not be able to meet the demands our customers require. Our organizations no longer operate in a linear fashion. Organizations must change to develop a more collaborative structure. So we must look at structure as the first step in designing services. We must have overlapping and shared responsibilities. I have highlighted the typical organization chart and how we must change to more of a Venn diagram type of structure to meet the ever-changing world. The best model that I have found to do this is the Lean model of leader standard work, explained in David Mann's book, Creating a Lean Culture. The purpose of leader standard work is to create behavioral change through a visual management and a daily accountability process, helping ensure that technical improvements in the lean transformation aren't lost to the culture of firefighting and backsliding into what David calls the pit of instability and despair, or what I call business as usual. The organization must develop as a whole, and this can only be accomplished by developing their personnel by providing the necessary resources and opportunities. We also need to promote individual differences. Instead of teaching the way to do some things, we need to step back and determine the key points that are required, and as Simon Sinek says in his book, we must start with why while leaving the how alone. So the world is changing to a collaborative structure. Can we afford to continue to design our services around the traditional structure? Our customer experience mimics our employee experience. However, if we want to design great customer experiences, we must in turn also mimic the way our customers operate and act. We must understand how our customers make decisions and what type of structures exist within their organization. We must understand how they use our products and services and how they view our role in this process. Part of design becomes how do we integrate our products and services with our customers? How do we enable use? You must be committed to continuous improvement as opposed to just doing things and running things as they are. What makes Lean different is the system through SDCA, PDCA, and EDCA. The steps of Lean Service Design are really simple. I can break it down to you go and see the initial practice, Gemba, the user. You form a working vision from the user experience. An ideal situation where the user wants to go is created. Visualize the user's process. If you do that, it is obvious to see what your next reaction should be and when to trigger it. I hope that you take your time to design your own workbook and your own visual management boards. Making this process your own is how the work will be enabled. Most people read a book and download the software, the workbook, and try to apply without going through the necessary steps to learn the process. I hope that you have started your experiment, your PDCA cycle, in adding a few of these thoughts to your life and the way you do your job. Thank you.